Terminator, iRobot, The Matrix. It's easy to let blockbuster films scare us away from technology. Hollywood directors can't seem to help but turn any robot into a weapon-wielding demon capable of world domination. But most recently, the Discovery Lab at Florida International University has been developing a robot that blurs the line between Hollywood fiction and reality. They call it TeleBot, but the media commonly refers to it as a real-life RoboCop. TeleBot is basically a prototype robot designed to carry out basic police functions, and it might one day become the model for more advanced operations, maybe even the first real-life RoboCop. I headed out to the Discovery Lab to meet the team behind TeleBot and get a first-hand look to determine if I should be afraid or excited about this new creation.
My name is Jong-Hoon Kim. I'm a director of a Discovery Lab, and I'm leading the development of the TeleBot project. The goal is using open source, open hardware and software, using that we minimize the cost. That means we have to build most of them and from our lab.
Do you guys are you ever sitting in here and you just kind of turn around and you look at it and it's kind of looking at you and
yes,
feel what the hell's going on?
You know what?
Terminator 2.
Maybe I was imagining that always at the beginning when I developed this one. And in the movie name Avatar, and in the movie, the guy first time connect to the avatar, and his guys wake up and then he don't feel that he's controlling the avatar. Yeah. So he wake up, was very weird when he trying to see his hand, and he was surprised because hand is not white. Yeah. There's something weird. I guess that is our robot right now. We can demonstrate that feeling because wearing that Oculus glass, yeah, and we can see a 3D view. When you move your hand also robot hand is moved. Wow. So when you hand see that you can see the hand, but it's not your hand; it's robot hand.
Yeah, will robots take over the world? What's your personal opinion on that?
I believe that is, let's say this kind of type of robot. Behind actually is human is there, decided by human, whatever is situations, right? So that people can understand this is not robot. This one type of human is remotely controlling.
The question about robots taking over the world is much more than just science fiction speculation or paranoia. Just the way other forms of technology have revolutionized our lives, robots that resemble humans are going to as well. The problem, however, is that as these robots become more advanced, they will become more and more capable of executing complex demands ordered by whoever controls them. The ethical implications of this are enormous. If, for example, an autonomous robot, meaning a robot advanced enough to make decisions on its own, goes out and kills someone, who do you blame? Do we arrest the robot or the creator of the robot? Could you imagine giving a robot the death sentence and killing it with a lethal injection? Or how about this? If your wife cheated on you with a robot, would you still be jealous or angry about it? Our everyday normal lives are slowly transitioning into a literal science fiction movie, where science fiction is becoming science fact. And even something as precious and human as consciousness is now being brought into question by these revolutions in technology. So are you guys afraid you might be creating Terminator 2 in this very lab?
Unless we give it to very bad people, no.
Right. I mean, it is interesting, not to get too philosophical, but it makes you wonder, what's the difference between a human and a machine, especially when they get so advanced? Can they become self-aware? Can they have consciousness? It makes you wonder. What do you guys think about that stuff?
That's a very long process. We need to do a lot of calculations, a lot of self-awareness, a lot of sensors in the body to understand the robot's body to understand its own position and its own something's touching it. So honestly, no.
In our case, we're giving the power to the person, right? So we also have to be worried about the person who's controlling the robot, right?
True.
So for example, we had certain things like the targeting limb, right? We're giving someone the power to be able to track down people and do certain things, right? But for now, we're doing ticketing and patrolling. So
right. So no global domination.
No, there's no artificial intelligence that we'll have to worry about now with TeleBot.
Yeah. Give us all the 20 years, maybe.
20, 30 years, yeah. The idea of robots becoming conscious shouldn't be too far-fetched. Even though consciousness is still a mystery, there is no doubt that artificial intelligence can be advanced to such a level as to, at the very least, mimic human consciousness. At that point, humanity will be faced with a strange mystery. If a robot can become conscious, or at least mimic the qualities of consciousness, then are humans actually any different than robots? Are we just robots made of a different type of matter? Or what if we upload our own human consciousness into machines? The new film Transcendence, starring Johnny Depp, has him uploading his consciousness into a computer. But this isn't just fiction. American inventor Ray Kurzweil has become obsessed with immortality. He takes about 50 pills a day in an attempt to prolong his life so he can live to a point where technology is so advanced that he can upload his consciousness into a computer and become immortal. I personally think he's kinda nuts, and I think we should accept and embrace the death of our physical bodies instead of believing so rigidly in the apparently physical world. But the point is that machines becoming conscious, either through advanced AI or by uploading a human's consciousness into a robot, is a sobering fact that humanity will have to face in coming years. Although I was originally resistant to TeleBot, I felt reassured by the team at the Discovery Lab. When asked about whether or not robots will take over the world, I was reassured that TeleBot was not autonomous and could not make choices on its own. It is true, TeleBot is not autonomous, so ultimately it's not about the robot, it's about who controls the robot. But that of course begs the question, who will be controlling these robots? My only concern is that at the end of the day, law enforcement officers are just that, law enforcers. They are not hired to determine what law should or should not be enforced. In a way, they're hired guns, even if the law is a bad law. And yes, bad laws do exist. The term law enforcement literally means the enforcing of all laws. Cops are not trained to distinguish between a good law and a bad law. They are simply trained to blindly enforce them all. In a world of bank bailouts, taxation for war, and mostly useless traffic citations, I really do question the laws we must obey and the laws that law enforcement officers must enforce. Ultimately, I left the Discovery Lab at FIU reassured by the kindness of the intelligent team there. As I stared into the mechanical eyes of TeleBot, I felt an eerie symbiotic connection, as if I was staring into my own reflection. And then, in a flash, I thought to myself, I wonder if in some basic or rudimentary way, he knows that I'm here, standing in front of him.